forgiveness is such a powerful and necessary process on your journey of inner healing and inner awakening. Yes, forgiveness is not always an easy thing to do, especially if something happened that left you deeply wounded, scarred, and hurt. But I just want you to know is that when I'm talking about forgiveness, I'm not talking about forgiving another person for having hurt you or even devastated you, but it's more so forgiving the situation, your part in it, and releasing the negative charge, the negative hold these situations, these things that happen still have on you. Because anything that happened in your past, the good, the bad, the ugly, it all affects us in different ways. And oftentimes it's those bad things that we experienced that really have a negative hold on us. So you want to use the process of forgiveness to really set yourself free from the hold that these things, these experiences still have on you, to really set yourself free. And in this video, I want to share with you why forgiveness is such a powerful and also necessary process, and also how to best go about to use this process of forgiveness to set yourself free. Because the reason why forgiveness is so important, especially in the process of your inner healing and your inner awakening journey, is because, like I mentioned, so much has happened in your life that still holds somewhat of a negative charge around when you're thinking about, or even you don't need to think about it anymore. Maybe you've put it aside, you don't even want to think about it anymore, but there's still that negative energy there because it's still within you. And when you were talking about your inner healing journey, your spiritual awakening journey, there is healing that is required. And forgiveness is a big part of that too, to forgive yourself for any part that you have had in a situation, to forgive a situation. Now, this, I just want you to know, is it does not make it okay that what someone did or that whatever happened, it doesn't make the situation okay. I just want you to know that, right? So I'm not saying forgive the person and say, okay, it's okay that you did that, because it's not, okay? But you're forgiving the situation in order to release the negative hold it still has over you. This will allow you to set yourself free, and it will also uplift you. It will also help you really release the pain, the agony, the negative effect it still has on you. Because the thing is, all the things that are happening in our life, and oftentimes it's those bad things, they make us who we are. Just think back at your very first breakup. That taught you quite the lesson, right? After that, you were a little more cautious when it comes to opening up your heart. And especially if you've gotten hurt many times over and over and over again, you're guarding yourself, right? You're guarding your heart because you're like, I'm not going to open myself up again to getting hurt. I've gotten hurt so many times, so not doing that again. Well, you see, the thing is, that is actually negatively impacting your life, because if you're guarding yourself, you're not opening yourself up to love. So here, I'm not saying forgive each and every one of your partners for how badly they treated you, for leaving you, for dumping you, for cheating on you, lying on you, or anything like that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is you want to forgive all that has happened in order to release the negative charge. Or let's say another example. Let's say you have done something in the past. Let's say, okay, a good example. That was one of the things that happened to me back in school. We had to stand up and give a little report, like, about our essay. We had to write an essay and we had to read in front of class. And I was very nervous, so I was stuttering. I was stumbling over my words. And well, kids are quite mean. So guess what happened? They were laughing at me. They were making fun of me and all of those things. Well, that then caused me to then be afraid of public speaking. It took me a very long time to really be ready to actually, do videos and be comfortable and confident on video. So you see, the thing is, those things that happen, and oftentimes during childhood, as we're growing up, they make us who we are. They form our beliefs. They form our habits, our actions, our inactions as well. They also cause us to guard ourselves more because, well, we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to make a fool of ourselves or anything like that, right? And oftentimes it's like these things then cause us to protect ourselves in any way. Well, but that also limits us from really living our life to the fullest and going after things that we want. So that's why using forgiveness in your inner healing or with your inner healing journey is so important and powerful, because it will set you free. It will release the negative hold that these things from the past still have over you today. And they will continue having a hold over you and a negative effect on you until you release them. And that's why forgiveness work is so powerful and also necessary. Because as you're awakening, like I mentioned, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And the thing is, if you're still holding a grudge or painful experiences towards another person, a situation, a circumstance, or anything like that, or an experience, well, guess what? You are giving your power to the person, the situation, the experience. You're giving your power away, okay? If you don't clear that and release that, you keep giving your power away to that because, like I said, you're holding yourself back in your life today, tomorrow, the next day, and moving forward. And forgiveness will set you free from that. So let me share with you, there are 5 steps that you can take to start using forgiveness in your inner healing journey. To forgive yourself, to forgive the situation, to really set yourself free from whatever happened in the past that is negatively affecting you today. The first step is, and that's one of the most important ones to get started, is you want to become aware. Really dig deep. What grudges are you holding? What painful experience do you still remember that you still hold a negative effect on you? What people hurt you in the past that if you think about them, it still hurts deeply, or that you don't even want to think about? Here, really get clear on all of those things. Here, what I usually tell my clients is take a pen and paper and just do a brain dump. Write down anything and everything that you can remember that still holds a negative charge to it whenever you're thinking about. And this can be people, this can be situations, circumstances, experiences, all of that. Really do a brain dump. Here, what you can do is go year by year. Start as early as you being born. And I know you probably say, well, as a baby, I don't remember anything. But believe me, if you're doing this practice and you're really opening yourself up to it, you will uncover certain things. So start out with just doing a brain dump of anything and everything that you can think of that you're still holding a grudge about, where you have gotten hurt, where you had a not good experience. And especially most of the things that are holding you back today, you experience those during childhood, because as a child, you don't know how to deal with those things, right? Now, if you get dumped or if you get hurt, you're like, okay, well, shoot, yeah, I got hurt, but well, I deal with it, right? But think back at your very first heartbreak, right? I remember my very first heartbreak. I was a mess for like 6 months. Okay, maybe not that long, but I was a mess. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. I was a mess. Right? But now if I were to, go through a breakup, I wouldn't experiencing it the way I did back then. So that's why a lot of things that happened that really made us who we are today are the things that happened early on, where we didn't have that adult-like mindset to deal with things easier. So just do a brain dump of anything and everything that you can think of that still holds a negative charge when you're thinking about it. And here, if there's certain things that you don't quite want to touch because they're just so big, you kind of put them into Pandora's box and you don't want to open Pandora's box, then don't touch that yet. Ease into that. Start with all the things that you can uncover first, and then as you're healing, because when it comes to healing and forgiveness work, it actually has a ripple effect. Because if you're working with the things that you can uncover right now, it has a ripple effect because it all is kind of interconnected, right? Because if you had one heartbreak, well, you had another one and another one, another one. So they're all connected, right? So if you're healing one, it eases the tension of all the other ones. So it has a ripple effect. So then whenever you're feeling ready to really touch those big things, the really painful things, ease into that. Don't go right into it. Or here, you may then actually want to get help by a coach, a healer, a mentor, or anyone that can assist you in really tackling those big things, those really traumatic events. But do your work as far as brain dumping anything and everything that you can think of. And then the second step is you want to then look at each and every one of the things that you have written down, the experience, the people, all of that. Look at each one. And then for each one, allow yourself to see the message, the lesson, and the gift. Because everything that happens out in our life, it teaches us something. There is a gift in everything. And yes, this is oftentimes easier said than done, because if it's something really devastating, how can you really see the message, lesson, and gift in it, right? Believe me, I've said that many, many times. But when you take that energetic step back, or emotional step back, you really detach from it emotionally, and you look at, okay, what can I learn from this? Going back to, for example, the heartbreak, right? you can look at, okay, what can I learn from this? Now, here's an example from me, and I'm not really proud of it, but hey, I was young. I didn't know. I know for me, I was very clingy in the beginning. So I kind of scared my very first boyfriend away because I just wanted to spend all the time with him, right? I was very clingy. So that was one of the lessons that I had to learn, that I need to give people space. I got to live my own life too. I can't just be with my boyfriend 24/7, things like that, right? And I also had to learn a lot about myself as well. So when you allow yourself to really look at it from a different perspective, remove the emotions and really look at it like, okay, what can I learn from this? Maybe there were some deeper inner beliefs that you had about yourself that caused you then to experience that. One of the things for myself is that I didn't really value myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't appreciate myself. I didn't feel worthy. All of those things. I didn't feel lovable. I feel like no one ever wanted me all throughout my life. Things like that. So these are the things that you can uncover. Well, of course, other things as well, as you're looking at it from a different perspective, allowing yourself to be open to uncovering the message, the lesson, and the gift in each of those painful things. Because when we're talking about those bad experiences, they usually happen because we're meant to learn something. Our soul comes here to have experiences, to learn something. Also, to complete certain karmic lessons, to complete certain karmic relationships, right? Or even heal soul contracts that you have made, that your soul has made with other people. So by you looking at everything that you've written down with that open mindset and really looking at it from a detached point of view to allow yourself to see the message, the lesson, and the gift, then it makes it easier because you're meant to take with you the lesson, the message, and the gift from whatever you experience, but release the pain. That's what this forgiveness work is all about. It's like I said, it's not forgiving the situation and then be accepting it for what it was. It is not that. I want to make that clear. Whatever you have been through, it was not okay. However, it happened, right? You can't change what happened. What you can do, however, is you can release yourself from the negative hold it has on you by doing this forgiveness work. And so by you uncovering, well, what's the message, lesson, and the gift here, you can basically take what's important, but then release the pain. Which brings me to the third step, is deciding, really making a decision. I'm going to let that go now. I'm releasing the pain. I'm releasing the hold it has on me. I'm releasing the agony. I'm releasing the pain. I'm releasing the devastation. I'm releasing the frustration. I'm releasing whatever it is. You're choosing, you're making that decision to let that go. And then you're moving into the fourth step, which is forgive yourself and the situation. Really doing the forgiveness work. Here, what you can do is you can use Ho'oponopono to clear the energetic charge around whatever happened. You're forgiving yourself, any part that you had, because there's cause and effect, right? So my example, I was very clingy, so that was the cause. I was clingy. The effect was, well, I got dumped from my very first boyfriend, right? So my part in this was, well, I was very clingy, right? So I had to forgive myself for that. I didn't know any better, right? I just did with whatever I thought was right. So I had to forgive myself for the part that I played in the heartbreak that I experienced because, well, I got dumped. So you want to forgive yourself in any part that you had in that caused that situation. Because even when someone that you were with or someone just treated you really, really badly, well, guess what? Your part in this was that you allowed them to treat you that bad. And that could be, and please, I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to upset you here, but I just want to share these things with you to open up your mind for what's really available for you here, for that deep healing. Because let's say someone really upset you and hurt you. Your part in this was most likely that you allowed them to do that. And that often stems from lack of self-belief, lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, and those type of things where you feel like that, well, you deserve to be treated that way. And this often stems from something even deeper. Maybe in childhood, you had an experience that taught you that you're not worthy and deserving, you're not good enough, and maybe your family didn't love you, didn't appreciate anything like that, right? So it's often not the thing that happened that's the cause. It's usually something deeper that happened maybe earlier on that then it was like a ripple effect, so to speak, right? So, but you want to forgive yourself any part that you had that caused the situation. You want to forgive the situation. Like I said, it's not accepting the situation for what it was or even the people that were part of that, but just forgiving the situation to let it go. That's all you want to do. You want to let it go. You want to release the negative hold, the negative attachment it has. So what you do is you focus on, you tune in, you put your attention onto whatever you uncover, that situation, the negative charge, the feeling between you and whatever happened, whatever is between you, right? Whatever is causing you to feel not okay. And then what you do is, as you're putting your attention onto that energetic bond, that energetic connection, then you can use Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian mantra, to really clear the energy. And it goes like that. In your mind or out loud, you just keep repeating, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you keep doing that with the intention that with each mantra, you're releasing the negative hold, the negative charge. Now, of course, if you know of any other healing modalities to help yourself heal and release, go with that. Perfectly fine. I just like to give my clients Ho'oponopono because it's simple, right? And not everyone knows spiritual healing modalities. Now, another thing you can do is, I have a video that I want to share with you. It's a light language activation to release the need to suffer so you can grow through pain. And that's basically what we're talking about. You're releasing the negative charge around what you experience. So the link for that video is in the description below. It's a powerful light language activation to really release any of those negative bonds that you have between certain situations, people, basically doing this work, what we're doing right now. What I'm sharing with you right now, these 5 steps, you can use this video to really clear and release anything that you want to release, the negative charge. Then the 5th step is you want to then, after you've done the healing, you want to then send love and gratitude to the situation, the person, whatever it was, that experience. You want to send love and gratitude to it because you have grown from that. You have learned from that. Again, not saying it was okay that it happened, but well, it happened. It's in the past. You can't change what happened in the past. So, but you have learned something from that. You have taken the lesson, the message, and the gift. So you're sending love and gratitude to it. Like seeing white light all around it, really enveloping that situation, the circumstance, the person, whatever it was. Seeing that connection between the two of you, between you and whatever happened, dissolve. Really cutting the cord, dissolving any connection, any ties, any bonds that you have still to that. Because you've done the forgiveness work, you've done the release work. Now you want to basically dissolve anything else, any ties that are still there. And you can do that by sending love and gratitude to whatever happened. And then also seeing that white light all around you. Seeing it around that situation, around you, and around everything, so to really dissolve any of those attachments. And then the 6th and final step is you want to choose to close the chapter on what happened. It's done. It's in the past. You've let it go. You've healed, you released, you forgave yourself, you forgave the situation, you cleared any energetic connection that you've had up until this point to what happened. Choose to close the chapter. You are free from its hold, from that connection. Set yourself free. That's a simple 6-step process of how to use forgiveness work to heal yourself, to set yourself free. And here, one thing I want to mention is that forgiveness, it's a choice. Happiness is a choice. Feeling good is a choice. So you can choose to continue holding on to the negative charge, the negative experience, because sometimes, those negative experiences, they keep you safe. I mean, if you've gotten hurt so many times and, you holding on to all that hurt keeps you safe moving forward because, well, then you're not opening yourself up. Then you can't get hurt again, right? Because you're protecting yourself. And if you were to release it and let it go, well, then you're all open again, right? So you may think that, well, I don't want to release that, but also think of it like that. If you don't release it, you also don't open yourself up to finding love, finding fulfillment, happiness, success, abundance, whatever it is that you're seeking. So forgiveness is a choice. You get to choose to use forgiveness work. It's not a have to or must do or anything like that. It is a choice. You get to choose. And with each thing that you're releasing, it is a choice. You're choosing to use forgiveness work to set yourself free. Because you're not doing yourself or anyone a favor or any good if you're holding on to it. Because these people that have hurt you, They don't care if you're still hurting today. They have their own stuff going on. They go about their own life. They have their own things that they have to deal with and have to, heal from and all that. So they don't care if you're still a mess today because of what happened back then. So you're not doing yourself or anyone any good if you're holding on to those negative feelings, those negative attachments. So using forgiveness work is a powerful process and also a necessary process to really set yourself free. So I hope you enjoyed these 6 steps that I shared with you to really use forgiveness work to set yourself free. And again, I'm not saying being okay with what happened. It simply means you're setting yourself free from the negative hold all these things have had on you up until this point, and they will continue affecting your life negatively until you release it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Now, I'm curious to know, have you ever done any forgiveness work as you're on your spiritual awakening journey? Have you seen the benefits of it? Leave me a comment below, let me know. But then also I want to invite you to consider, what can you forgive yourself for that you have been holding on to for quite some time? Consider using forgiveness work to really set yourself free from that. Okay, so thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out this video here. It's about that light language activation to release and let go, to really set yourself free from any of those negative attachments. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.